The sun is coming up. It's the only non-copyrighted song we could find besides "Take Me Out to the Ball Game."
Yeah, I was out bike riding yesterday, and the whole time I had that song run through my head. Take me out to the damn ball game.
What a worm. Good morning, my friends. Welcome to Morning Coffee with moi, Sandy, and Indy. Good morning, Indy.
And today, say hi to the rising sun.
Hey, and that's right. And Eric Burton, who was kind enough to put this song into the public domain since he apparently had stolen it from someone years before anyway. Nice to share what you steal, right? Yeah, baby. See this? This was from my Canadian friend. Yes, she gave me this for my birthday a few years ago. And I'm using it today because I'm feeling celebratory. Yes, I am. Why, you ask? Well, I told you I was going to physical therapy yesterday to get kind of checked out and see how things were going. Well, I'm better. I'm not well, but I'm better. And I got permission to go hit the tennis ball today. Yes, yes, yes. I'm so excited. I was warned. You are not playing a game. You are not running around like a maniac. You can volley with a friend who knows that you're on the injured list. And then I want you to be very careful about taking note of how you feel while you're playing, how you feel right after you're playing, and then how do you feel tonight when you go to bed.
And then 2 days from now.
And 2 days from now. Well, I have physical therapy again tomorrow. So he's going to check me out again tomorrow. But here's the deal. He said that if I don't hurt too much, even if I hurt just a little, it's okay for me to go hit the ball again, like on a regular basis, and work my way back up to playing real tennis. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I rest my case. I got nothing more to say about it. I'm just excited. Good morning, Ginny. Yeah, I'm always so delighted when people find us on YouTube, like as we're live. I know it's easy to watch it afterwards because I post the link to it. But boy, finding us in the morning is not an easy job. That's why we switched over to Facebook Live. But I am still persona non grata when it comes to Facebook Live. I'm going with it's the music. They never said, but I'm going with that. So we're respecting that. I don't like it because it was so much fun to sing along. There's something about lip syncing that's okay now. I'm not sure exactly what that is, so I have to look into that. But I like when we can talk about songs and actually sing them and play them, and it's like great memories, right? So I had a conversation with my son the other day, whose opinion I really respect. And he started talking to me about doing this show. And he said, "Why are you doing it? You need to take a look at that. Are you doing it just because it's a creative, fun outlet for you? Because you work a lot of hours to put that thing together every day. Did you want to make money from it? Because if you did, you're not going about it the right way." And then he started talking to me a little bit about how a show like what we do every morning could actually end up being a source of income for me, which I currently don't possess, other than savings. Um, it was a very interesting conversation. Good morning, Stephen. Happy Thursday to you. I just love Thursdays. And I'm going out to dinner tonight with old friends. That's pretty cool. Indy and I are meeting a guy I went to high school with and his wife, and another guy I went to high school with and his wife, who are all in Palm Springs today. So we're going to drive over and have dinner. It'll be fun. Anyway, back to what I was talking about. So he gave me a lot of really good suggestions of how I could make this into something more viable if I want to do that. But he said, just take a look at it. So you don't beat yourself up about, hey, it's not working, it's working. If all it's doing is fulfilling a creative outlet and a way for me to spread some happiness in the world, don't change anything. But I wonder sometimes if maybe I shouldn't say, hey, let's do this every day unless I'm really tired, in which case we'll do it a couple of times a week. I don't know. So I just think the timing is amazing because if you remember the word art from 2 days ago, 3 days ago, it all had to do with this, but it was also, oh, I know, on the 19th, it was Evaluate Your Life Day, reflecting on what you're doing and is it really what you want to be doing? And for those of you who are hanging in here because you're the over 60 crowd, or in my case, the over 70 crowd, it's time to look and say, hey, this is what I've been doing all my life because this is what I did. But you know what? I don't really love it. Or, oh, look, I can do that. I've never done that before, but I think I might like it. And then find out that you do. I remember years ago, unfortunately, I'm not there anymore. So I can't, but there's one here. I joined the botanical garden. I'd never belonged to a garden before. And I thought, join it. So I did. And guess what? Turns out I loved it. And I was there all the time, walking around, looking at the plants and taking little hikes. It was just gorgeous. But it was something that I'd never done before. I did it on a whim because I thought, hey, maybe this is the time you get to do those kinds of things. Try new stuff. You don't have to stick with it unless you want to. It's your life. You get to plan it out. You get to decide what you're going to do. You. Yeah. I went to the Apple store yesterday. I went to the Genius Bar because I had these notifications, council notifications, warnings all over my computer, and I didn't know what to do with them. And then I've been fighting with the cloud. Do I need to spend more money every month? It seems ridiculous, but it kept saying, you've used up all your cloud room. You need to spend more money. So I started eliminating things from my computer. And in doing that, because I don't know really what I'm doing, I think I did some bad things and put things where they didn't belong and I'll never find them again, stuff like that. So I went to the Genius Bar. And here's basically what he said to me after all the time that I sat there. Your computer is fine. Your phone is fine. You don't need the cloud unless you want to use it, but you've got plenty of memory left on your phone and plenty of memory left on your computer. And by the way, if you want to get stuff off the cloud, stop eliminating things from your computer. Take it off your phone. Your phone is what's making the big drain on the cloud. Well, duh. I thought if I remove it from my computer, it automatically comes off the phone. No, it's the other way around, apparently. You have to remove things from your phone. This helpful computer moment was brought to you by, who was it brought to you by?
No,
I don't know. My stress. Oh, can we talk about stress for a minute? Oh my God, yesterday was ridiculous. So during the pandemic, because I couldn't do any lectures or seminars or keynote speaking or anything like that, I thought, well, I'm out of work. I'll apply for unemployment. So PS, I did, and the money went on this little card. A lot of you, I'm sure, had that same card. Anyway, I didn't use my card, and it was sitting in my drawer, and I thought, okay, I will go get the money off the card and put it in my savings account instead. I couldn't get the money. You can only get a certain amount of money each day out of an ATM. If you go to Bank America, whose card it is, but you don't have an account with Bank America, you can't take the money out. If you go to your own bank, they tell you they can't do it because it's from Bank America. It was like, ah! So I went from bank to bank to bank to bank, talking to different people on the phone at Bank of America and at Chase Bank and blah, 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 blah. So PS, I did finally get the whole problem solved and I did get my money into my bank account. But oh Lord, hours, my friends, of frustration at the bank. Did I raise my voice? Not once. Did I cry? Only silently on the inside. I was very proud of myself, actually. Yeah. Oh, Ginny says she's been paying extra for the cloud, but she's going to switch to Amazon Photos. It's free if you have Amazon Prime. Well, I do have Amazon Prime. I think I may do the same thing. Thank you, Ginny. That was very, very helpful.
Amazon Photos, it's all you have to store is photos?
I think that's all it stores is photos.
Oh.
But that means it could store all of my word art.
Those
Every bit of
photos.
it, because those are all photos. Because I take a picture each day of my word art. And as you know, I mean, I've been doing the word art every day for, I don't know, 6 years, 7 years. I mean, I have so much. I have books and books and books filled with word art. But you know, I also have books. Don't forget about these, my friends. I just sold a bunch for Christmas presents. Yeah. Somebody that I met at the Joshua Tree Music Festival got my book and just sent me a message and said, "Oh, they make great Christmas presents." And she ordered 7 books. Yeah. Well, not 7 different ones. There's 3 different ones. But I would love you to order the books. Yeah. Go to whatdoisay.com/store. It's all there. And pretty soon, all of my new word art projects are going to be up there. All of the boomer frame ups and the baby block parties. It's all going to be right up there just in time for holiday buying. Come on, support your local person. That'd be me. Okay, I'm not local, but you're with me now. So it means we're local, right? Whatever. Okay, what else? Oh, okay. Public service announcement. Today is the Great Shakeout. So you may see weird things happening around town, particularly in California, because this is the day that that's not funny.
I'm sorry.
That was not funny. That was not funny. That scared me.
I shook your desk.
You
You're not prepared, obviously.
I am not emotionally prepared, that's for sure.
All
but
right,
I do have an earthquake kit that I put together that it's time to check it and make sure everything in it is okay. But I do have a to-go kit. It's just a backpack filled with stuff. But I don't have enough water. I truly do not have enough water.
You've got
Okay.
a viable plan though.
I do?
Yeah.
What's my plan?
Well, when it stops shaking, you're going to yell at it and go, "Stop that. It's not funny."
I'm going to yell at the world and say, "Stop it. It's not funny." Okay, wait a minute.
And as soon as we get a pool, you'll have plenty of water, okay? We got a whole tub full of water out there. What are you talking about?
Wow, you ordered two new iPhone 13s. Ooh, I bet that was a big deal. But you got a big deal. Ginny.
Oh.
Ooh. What?
One for each year?
I guess. You're going to walk around like this? I don't know. It's a family plan, I think. Anyway, Indy, could you do me a big favor?
Sure.
I printed something out and I forgot to bring it, and I need it because it's about the Great Shakeout.
Oh, is it on your printer?
It's just sitting on the printer. Anyway, I'm going to add this morning to the rebroadcast of this morning coffee. But Dizzy Gillespie, but something about the Great Shakeout too.
I don't have my glasses on, it looks blurry.
Oh my goodness, it double printed. Oh, look, it double printed. Now how am I going to read it to you?
Read it twice.
All right, I'll figure it out. But there's some stuff I wanted to tell you.
About Dizzy Gillespie?
Well, about Dizzy Gillespie, but also right now about the Great Shakeout.
Developing a simple communication plan with your family so you know where to meet if power and cell service goes down. Find out whether, so you can read it. It's doable. It's just a little.
It's doable, and I can read it, and I will.
Oh, okay.
Okay. This is for this. Today is the Great Shakeout. So it is the day when you practice what do I do in case of the big one.
Mm-hmm.
But for those of you who live in areas where earthquakes are not an issue, it may be floods or tornadoes or
locusts.
Yes, or killer bees. I don't know. There are all kinds.
Hornets.
There are all kinds of things that can go wrong in nature. And maybe they're not going wrong, but they feel wrong to us, right? They feel wrong, right? Anyway, it's a good time to be prepared. I found a site that's from the New York Times that is the best site that I found. And I did a lot of research for this because I Googled best earthquake kits, and you can buy them. You can buy a ready-made kit, which of course would be better than nothing at all. And they range anywhere from $40 to hundreds and hundreds of dollars. But what they found out when they were doing the research for the New York Times was most of the kits, number one, don't have the same quality of the things that you would buy individually. And number two, that your family is going to be different than everybody else's family. So you need to make a kit that works for you and your guys, right? They said the thing that people forget is that you also need a communication plan. What if you're not all together? Who are you going to call? Ghostbusters. Who are you going to call to check in and let everyone know you're okay? My guess is the internet's going to be down. Your telephone is going to be iffy at best. But at some point, you've got to have a place where everyone in the family, not just who you live with, but your extended family and your important friends, where you can all check in to make sure you're all okay.
I know a guy with a shortwave radio. I'm going to call him.
I have no answer for that. I have no answer for that. Anyway, it was told before that in order to survive, you need a gallon of water per day per person. And most people who do these earthquake kits or who talk about it tell you to be prepared for 3 days. So the New York Times did some research and they found out that 3 days, particularly for people like us, Indy, who live right near the San Andreas Fault.
Not my fault.
It is your fault, baby. You live in the valley and we have the fault. We got the fault. It's our fault.
You break it, you own it. Huh?
But we're not to blame. We just have fault. Anyway, didn't we talk about that yesterday? Okay. Anyway, 3 gallons a day, 3 gallons for 3 days is fine. But New York Times did research and they said, yeah, but very seldom is 3 days enough. So they suggest 10 days to 2 weeks.
Of water?
Of water.
No. Good thing we have a hot tub.
Oh, can you drink that?
In an emergency. Yeah.
You sure that stuff's not poison?
Not poison.
We got a hot tub. And if nothing happens before the end of November, we'll have a swimming pool.
Yeah. And then we'll have all the water for the neighborhood. In
right.
fact, there's a couple other pools in the neighborhood we might be able to siphon a little out of if we get desperate.
We should get some of those pills that you drop in the water.
I was thinking of a long straw for our neighbor's pool.
Okay, we're not listening to him today. He's not going bike riding, so he's being silly instead. Ooh.
Trying to provide you some reassurance so you can sleep soundly.
Thank you.
The other advice from the CDC is do your things and then sleep well because you know you're protected. Says so right at the end.
It does?
It does right at the end. See, I can read the double talk here. It says, mark your calendar to review your emergency thing once a year and then sleep easier, knowing that you will be ready to take care of yourself and your family if disaster strikes.
Ta-da!
So I'm ready to sleep.
Okay, so anyway, today's the day, my friends. If you don't have an emergency kit, make one. Do it today. I mean, even if all you get is, oh, my man is getting me hot coffee. Ba-bam. That's the answer. Even if you don't have even a starter kit, today's a good day to get a starter kit going. I keep stuff in my car, first aid stuff in my car. Doesn't hurt to keep a jug of water in your car. Okay. FEMA suggests that every household should have 3 weeks of food set aside in their household. And Stephen, thank you. But here's something I saw that was so cool. The New York Times says, go out and buy lots of food, boxed and canned, that you will eat on a regular basis anyway, and just keep it stocked up. That way you don't feel like, oh, I got those cans are a year old. I can't use those. Make it stuff that you use regularly. Go get some, I don't know, cans of soup and spaghetti sauce, things that you might even mix in with other things normally, but that you could live on if you had to.
So you said you wanted to have a starter kit? Is that what it was?
Yes.
Yeah. King Arthur Bakery also has suggested, sourdough starters. You know about those?
Yeah.
That you dress them up for Halloween. And so they've shown a bunch of people who have dressed up their sourdough starters for Halloween. So if you're getting your starter going, don't forget Halloween's coming. Would you like to show the pictures? There's one that's done up as a little bunny.
I'm not sure that sourdough starter could really help you in an emergency.
Oh, different kind of starter kit.
Yeah,
okay.
different kind of. This is not a starter kit we're talking about. It's an emergency kit.
Oh, you said starter.
But we had to get Halloween in here somewhere because it is October, my friends. Okay, let's move on. Let's get away from this. It's National Pumpkin Cheat.
Sorry.
He did it again, and it's not funny to me. I get really scared.
Start shaking all
I've
over.
been through a couple of big earthquakes. They are not fun. They're scary. But I've never been injured in an earthquake, and I don't want to start now. It is Reptile Awareness Day.
How are we going to make reptiles more aware?
You're the psychologist. You tell me.
Maybe we can hypnotize them or something. I don't know.
So I don't know if I ever told you this story, but I want to share this with you. I'm not one of those squeamish people who's afraid of snakes. I mean, I don't want to see reptiles like suddenly in my house any more than I want him to shake my desk and
Not
breathe.
even a turtle?
Turtles, I like turtles. I love turtles. I used to have a.
Aren't they reptilian?
I guess.
Oh.
I'm not afraid of reptiles necessarily. I mean, I had an iguana, I had a tortoise, I had a boa constrictor. Yes, I did. Oh, I'm being swallowed by a boa constrictor. I did. I had a rosy boa whose name, oddly enough, was Rose. Anyway, I had a rosy boa, and she used to like wrap herself around my arm and squeeze, but she wasn't that big. She was like, maybe. What's that? Is that about 4 feet?
That's about small rat size for eating them. Yeah.
Oh, stop it. I don't like those. Those aren't reptiles. What are those?
Snakes eat rats. Come on.
Oh, snakes eat rats. Yeah, that was okay with me. I used to feed rats to my snake. Anyway, I had moved, and I moved from LA to Riverside, and I had everything in the garage, and the snake was what do you call it when they hibernating? That's it. The snake was hibernating anyway, so I left the snake in the garage with all the other stuff because she was hibernating. She wasn't awake anyway. There was no reason, I thought, to bring her in, not realizing how cold it got in the winter in Riverside in the garage. And one night, my new boss and his wife were over for dinner, and we were chatting, and I said something about having a boa, and she said, "Oh, I love snakes. Can I see it?" And I said, "Well, it's out in the garage because it's hibernating." And she said to me, "Did you know that if you take a hibernating snake and you warm it up and you pet it and pet it and pet it and pet it, it'll wake up again?" And I said, "I did not know that." She said, "Would you mind if I did that?" And I said, "No, I would much rather that Rosie was awake." So I went out to the garage and I picked up this coiled up, very, very hard snake, right? Because it was hibernating. And I gave it to my boss's wife, who was all dressed up, and put it in her lap and started petting the snake in her lap. And a half an hour went by, and she was still petting the snake. And the snake was not moving. She said, "It's really funny. Usually it doesn't take this long to wake up an animal." And then we discovered the snake was dead. She was petting a dead snake in her lap. It died from the cold out in the garage. That's a good way to start making a good impression on your new boss, don't you think? Look, I'm turning red now just thinking about it. Yes, I gave my boss's wife a dead snake to pet.
You're not employed by them anymore, are you?
I'm not. I am not. Oh, and when we're talking about reptiles, come on, we're all about the same age here, right? Or at least some of us are. And those of you who aren't, you missed this, and it was so cool. Do you remember the little turtles that we used to buy that would be in that plastic dish that was like a swirl in the middle with a little fake palm tree?
Yeah.
Do you remember those?
Yeah.
So for some reason they got to be illegal. Do you know why?
Well, you're killing a bunch of turtles. I don't
No,
know.
it had nothing to do with the safety of the turtles, I'm sure.
Oh, okay.
Because we were not a very conscious world yet when they stopped letting you buy turtles. and you'd feed it turtle food and you'd play with it, and they were so cute and little. Okay, come on. Who had one? Who had one? Oh, Stephen remembers. Ginny remembers. Oh, it was because of salmonella? Really? They were making people sick? Oh, I loved my little turtles. I thought that was so much fun. And I know I told you the story about going outside one day. We had visitors from Australia, thank goodness. Um, and my son was playing in the backyard and he started screaming, come here, everybody, come here. We went outside and there was, okay, so iguanas live in the desert, but
Yeah,
I didn't
jungles.
live in the desert.
Jungles too.
And jungles and deserts,
Yeah.
but mostly in Mexico.
Yeah.
We didn't live in the desert. We lived near the beach at the time, right? And my son starts screaming, and we go outside, and there is an iguana about this big, counting its tail, so that's not huge. An iguana climbing up the side of our house. Yes, my friends. It like this like dinosaur thing climbing up the side with the spikes and everything. Anyway, we didn't even know what it was. We thought it was a monster. We just did not know. And Mark, who was staying with us from Australia, said, "It's an iguana. I can get it for you." Anyway, that was more Cockney than Australian. Sorry. Anyway, Mark, who was very tall and very brave, apparently, reached up as high as he could and grabbed the iguana off the side of the building. We ended up building this like fort out of boxes for it, right? We put it in there and we told Mike he could have it for a pet. He was very excited, except he could never tame it. It was so the box that we put it in, we used like big boxes. And remember when you were a kid, you would build a fort in boxes? We built a fort with no top that filled the entire living room. So it was like we could walk around it and hang out with the iguana, and the iguana was inside. Although, come on, seriously, it was climbing the wall of our house. What made us think it couldn't get out of that? I don't know. But we left it in there and we had it for, a couple of weeks, maybe. It was really cool. Anyway, it kept biting my son, so we had to give it away.
They whip you with their tail too.
Yeah, he was mean. He was mean.
You have any celebrity birthdays today?
I do. You want me to move on because it's getting so late, huh?
Well, I wanted to tell you it's Angela Lansbury's birthday.
It is Angela Lansbury. Was she your favorite?
Well, no, I just have a picture of her when she was young and when she was old that I thought you'd enjoy.
Oh, okay. She was so hot when she was young. Look at her. She really looks kind of the same, doesn't she? Except she got older. It happens to all of us,
Not you,
but not me.
else.
No, I look exactly the same as when I was 3. Actually, I don't look much different than when I was 3. Yeah, she got a little older.
Sip and a smile.
A sip and a smile. Oh, wait, no, I'm not ending. I've got a couple. Oh, you are. You're going. Sip and a smile from Indy. Bye, Indy. He's leaving. I'm not done yet. I don't know where he's going. Murder, She Wrote. Yes. Okay, more birthdays. Carrie Fisher. She was Princess Leia in Star Wars. She was Debbie Reynolds and Eddie Fisher's daughter. Yeah. And she was married to Paul Simon for a while. But then I guess a lot of people were. I don't know. Okay, this is the one I wanted to tell you about. Kim Kardashian's birthday. I don't know anything about Kim Kardashian, really. Nothing. Except she's with Kanye West, who I don't really know anything about. Except that my nephew, well, my husband's nephew, who for 20 years was my nephew. I mean, I was there the week he was born, for crying out loud. Anyway, is Eli Lynette's, Eli. Google him. I mean, when he was a kid, he was an actor and he was like adorable. And I just love that kid to pieces because he was my little nephew, right? And now he's like this big deal famous guy. Yeah. He's the creative director for Kanye West and Lady Gaga. He does photography. He's got a line of clothing. I mean, he's like that fateful meeting between Kanye West and our former president. My nephew was at the meeting with Kanye West. Yeah, I know. Is that weird? Okay, it's weird to me. Manfred Mann, his birthday. He was born in 1940, And we talked about him the other day because in 1964, his number one hit was do-wah, 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 diddy, talk about the boy from New York City. I think it's okay for me to do music if I sing it right. I don't have the rights to it, but I got the rights to this, and it just fell right out of my mouth. Yeah, in 1976, Manfred Mann did Blinded by the Light. Blinded by the light. And then there's something about a fiduciary or something in there. I'm not really sure. Happy birthday to Dizzy Gillespie. There was this was why I wanted to do Dizzy Gillespie, and I don't know if I can read this. Dizzy Gillespie, the trumpeter, he actually ran for president once. And he promised that if he was elected to the White House, he was going to change its name to the Blues House. And his cabinet would be, this is why I wanted to share this with you. This was his proposed cabinet. Duke Ellington would be Secretary of State. Miles Davis would be Director of the CIA. Max somebody would be Secretary of Defense. Charles Mingus would be Secretary of Peace. I can't tell. Ray Charles would be in charge of the Library of Congress, which absolutely cracks me up because he'd have a little trouble reading those books if they're not in Braille. Louis Armstrong would be Secretary of Agriculture. Mary Lou Williams would be the ambassador to the Vatican. Thelonious Monk would be the traveling ambassador. Malcolm X would be the attorney general. And his running mate would be Phyllis Diller. How's that for a ticket, my friends? Let's hear it for Dizzy Gillespie. Woohoo! I don't know what year he ran. It doesn't really say. But apparently he actually got himself on the ballot. Happy birthday, 1949. My year, almost my exact birthday to Benjamin Netanyahu. May not be my favorite politician, but actually I did get to meet him years ago, like in person, shake hands with him, talk to him for a minute. And I've never seen so many security people around in my life. That was an interesting day. One of my very favorite all-time movies / plays premiered on this day in 1964 and was the winner of 8, count them, my friends, 8 Academy Awards. And that was My Fair Lady. And I remember not too long after it came out, there was that whole thing about it had the song of the pregnant ballerina in it. You ready? The song of the pregnant ballerina. I should have danced all night. You get it, right? Okay. Judge Judy's birthday. Ba-bam. I love Judge Judy. I love a woman who is that direct, just calls it like she sees it, doesn't take any poop from anyone. It's her courtroom. She makes the rules, which brings us right up to today's word art, which is you don't have to play by their rules when it's your game. You can take that on so many different levels. So many different levels. And you can attribute it to so many different parts of your life and things that go on in your life. Woo! Yeah. It's your game, my friends. It's your game. Treat it that way. Yeah. Respect it. Respect yourself. Play that game. Yes. All right. I got to go get dressed because I'm going to go play a little tennis this morning. I can't wait. It's Thursday. You know what that means. Tomorrow is Friday. Tomorrow we're going to talk about jumping jacks. That's all I can tell you. I can't tell you any more about it, but be prepared for Friday. I love you so much, and I am so happy to be here with you. Ginny, Stephen, whoever else is there and didn't say good morning. Good morning to all of you. Thank you for having coffee with me. That was my sip. Here's my smile. I just love you. I just love you. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.